It's time to beat the clock. Lights of Broadway, sights of Broadway, sounds of Broadway all around. And there above shines the name Sylvania, pioneering light, sight, and sound. Finer products, better products, tested quality. Made for you by Sylvania, pioneer for half a century. Beat the clock, brought by Sylvania. Beat the clock to entertain you. It's time to play Beat the Clock.
Now here is America's #1 clock watcher, Bud Collyer.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Beat the Clock, the show where you have the time of your life playing against time for big-time prizes. And thank you and good evening, Bern Bennett. Now come on over here with me, if you will, and meet our first contestants tonight. Hi.
Hi.
You always look this frightened or only when you come on this show?
Only here.
Mrs. Mazza, is it? M-A-Z-Z-A. You are Mr. Mazza. What's your first name, Mr. Mazza?
Ralph.
Ralph. Mind if I call you Ralph?
No, sir.
I've got it down on the card. You live in Brooklyn, New York. You're a production engineer, married 9.5 years, 2 children. Boys, girls? Two little girls.
They're watching.
My goodness gracious. I wonder if we have any Roxanne dolls for them, do we? Roxanne, do you have any Roxanne dolls? Come on, run in here, fast like a bunny, get a Roxanne doll, a couple of them. I guess we'll need 2 of them. Yeah, better bring them out here. That's a girl. There we are. 2 Roxanne dolls for your 2 little girls. There they are. Okay, you want to open one of them up? You can show everybody what they look like. They're real pretty in there. Meantime, I'll explain to you about our... Hey, look, isn't she pretty? Isn't she lovely? That's it. You can put her right back in the box, put it down behind you there so it won't be in your way. And we have a bonus stunt that you may have been watching. I don't know. Have you seen the one with the great big balloon on the top of the post? Well, that happens to anybody, whoever happens to be at our microphone when the bell rings. We don't know when that's going to be. It's worth $300 in cash tonight. And maybe you, maybe anybody else that follows you. So let's see what's going to happen. First of all, we have a problem for both of you. And as you know, we've already made you take off your shoes. And there's a reason for that. So if you both come over here with me, we'll see what the $100 clock holds for you. Now, if you'll step over on this side of me and stand this way, that's the idea. And you, sir, if you'll stand with your back to your wife, with your back to your wife. There we are, that's fine. Now, just kick off the slipper on your outside foot, and you on your left foot, if you will, please, Miss Mazza. That's the idea. Just kick it out of the way altogether. Now, would you give Mr. Mazza one of those socks? That's it. Sort of a foot warmer. And we have a sock for you. Now, the problem is simply this. We're going to ask you to put these socks on each other's feet. In other words, when I say go, you lift up this foot and give it to Mr. Mazza. You stick your foot back through there and give it to Mrs. Mazza. Those 2 feet may not touch the floor again until the socks are on those feet. You understand? You put this sock on Mrs. Mazza's foot. She puts the sock she has on your foot. You may not touch the ground again in between time. You understand the problem? Once you lift your feet off, if you touch your foot to the floor, you have to stop, take the socks off, and start all over again. Take a look over your shoulder and see how many seconds you have. 40 seconds from the time I signal. What are you whispering to her? What'd you say? Trying to signal her? Yeah. Well, we're going to make it real tough for you to signal because I'll tell you, here is the balloon. Look, Miss Mazza, it's full of, you know, helium. It goes up in the air like that. And just for real fun, we're going to put that in between your backs like that. Now, if you let the balloon go, we have to stop also. Do you understand? If your foot touches or the balloon goes. Are you ready? Go. Put it back to about 35. He didn't understand. Now, you have to keep your foot up, too, you see. So both you and Miss Mazza must have your feet off the floor at the same time. Can you do what? Oh, sure. Take it off. You want to take them both off? Okay, here now. Get apart a little bit so I can give you these 2. Are you ready? Go! Hold it! Stop the clock! Got plenty of time. Got to take it off now. Got to take it off. Start over again. Take it off. Take it off. Take hers off, too. You got to start over again there. Now, get this square between your backs here so you don't. Now, you don't have to lean over that much. Just press against each other. Give her your foot now. Give her your foot. Get it up there so she can get at it. You kick yours up a little higher, too. Now, you ready? Ready? Don't let this go. Go. you can. All right, that's good enough. Pull it up. You got this one on? All right, stop the clock. Okay, good enough. You can just leave those there. Don't worry about them anymore. The girls will come and get them. We'll give them to somebody else. Oh, that was good. Mr. and Miss Massa, Brooklyn, New York, you've beaten our $100 clock. I tell you, our girls have really got balloon nerves. Anytime balloons break around them, as long as they've been on the show, they still jump like mad. I see you're wearing a Sunday school pin there. How do you happen to be wearing one, Miss Massa?
Well, we're here with our Sunday school class, sir.
You are? What's the class, may I ask?
There's junior Bible class.
Where from?
St. James Lutheran Church.
From Brooklyn, New York?
Yes, sir.
How many of you are here?
24.
Well, a sincere welcome to you. Didn't know you were here. Awful nice to have you. You should be very proud of that pin, boy. Good for you. All right. Now we find out what your problem is in the $200. All right. Hey. We got you all wrapped up like a Christmas present, haven't we? Hey, you know, that reminds me of something. Incidentally, I don't know how many of you folks have seen the current issue of Good Housekeeping magazine. I happened to pick one up on the way in today, and believe me, it's amazing. They've got the whole magazine is given over to new kinds of Christmas wrappings, ways to decorate your table for Christmas and your house. Oh, it's just wonderful. You get ideas you never had before. I saw it. I thought maybe you might kind of be interested in it, too. You know, you're always worried about how am I going to wrap this present so it doesn't look like last year. Well, they'll show you how in Good Housekeeping. Now, we have a little problem here that we think is wonderful to make you smile bright and keep you all happy. And you want to both come over here with me and I'll show you what it is. A real family little stunt for $200 clock. Bring out our little family stunt there, will you? There it is. Doesn't it look lovely? It's real attractive. Now, if you step right up and back there, please, Ralph. Back where the girls are. That's it. Miss Massey, you can come right up here alongside of me, too, if you will. Now, we have here what we call 2 large-sized tubes of toothpaste. You see? Come on, step up here alongside of me. Now, the problem is simply this. I don't know how it is in your house. Do you always replace the cap on the toothpaste tube? Do you?
No.
Does she, Ralph?
No, sir.
You get kind of mad at her every now and then?
Occasionally.
You always go in there and say, I wish she'd put that cap on and you screw it on yourself.
Boy.
Huh? Yeah, I know how it is. Same way in my house. But in any event, I want to tell you something. We're solving that problem here for you tonight. Now, these are 2 large-sized tubes of toothpaste, and these are the caps that we have for them. Now, what happens is this. Your husband... No, leave that stool right where it is. Your husband has seated himself in the bathroom, you see, about to brush his teeth, and suddenly he says, great Scott, she's left the caps off those toothpaste tubes, and the toothpaste is oozing out at him, you see? Yeah. So what you have to do is to get the 2 caps of the and get them back on the toothpaste tubes like that within the time allotted to you, and we'll stop the clock, and the toothpaste will stop oozing. Now, let's take a look over here at our clock, see how many seconds you have. You have 30 seconds to cap both tubes, and I'll show you how you do it. Watch me. Over here are the 2 caps. You have in your hand one of these grocery clerk helpers. You know how they work? Press these handles together like that. You have to run off that platform when I say go, pick up these things one at a time like that, come back and cap the number 1 tube first, like that. Then run over, pick up the second cap, put it on tube number 2, we'll stop the clock and you'll beat the clock. Okay? You got the general idea? I will put the cap back down over here. Your husband gets set to complain about the toothpaste. Are you ready? Go! Oh. Boy, fine there. Look at that. All right, stop the clock. Roxanne is going to come out with one of Sylvania's blue dot flash bulbs. Blue dot for sure shot. She took a picture of that, and if you'll just leave that right there, the girls will take it. They'll clean your husband up. You come back over here with me, because you now have to carry on for the family on our famous jackpot clock. Now, you step right down there, and back of this curtain, as you probably know, is our famous magnetic board. It's our jackpot board, and on it are all of the words of a famous saying or quotation, but you can move them around, and that's what we want you to do, because they're all mixed up out of order. So you move them around and get them back in order so that we can spell out there from left to right the sentence or quotation we're after, all this in 20 seconds from the time I say go. Do you understand? All right, open the curtain. Step up on the platform. Go. Okay, stop the clock. Little pictures, half feet here. You're right. It's just too bad that your husband is still getting the whipped cream taken off him, because let's see what you've won. Just take a look over here.
Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Mazza. You have just won the most sensational television receiver in the world today. a new Sylvania 21-inch TV with AM/FM radio and a 3-speed phonograph combination. The Lexington features exclusive better-than-ever halo light, the frame of light that's kinder to your eyes. Here is the set that will give you fine TV reception wherever you live.
My congratulations to you, too. You're most welcome. Look, collect your house. There it is. Good night, Mr. Mazza. Your wife will tell you what you just won. I hope you have many, many years of enjoyment out of it. Goodbye. Just take your Roxanne dolls along with you, too. Incidentally, before we meet our next contestants, ladies and gentlemen, I know that from time to time you are besieged with requests for this or that, but so many good causes are in existence today. One of these is the organization that is working so hard in research to find the cure and the care for those who are ill with arthritis and rheumatism. Now, this may seem like a slight thing to you, but it's a very crippling thing to many other people. So if you will just, in the heat of getting ready for Christmas, take time to drop a little contribution into an envelope and mail it to arthritis. Just use the word arthritis, care of your local postmaster. They and the people who are afflicted with it will be very grateful to you. It'll make their Christmas happier. Okay, Roxanne, who are our next contestants?
But we have Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth Rancho from Hampton, Virginia.
Thank you very much, Roxanne. Mr. and Mrs. Rancho, how are you, Ken?
Fine, thank you.
Nice to have you here.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Rancho, welcome to you.
Glad to be here.
From Hampton, Virginia, I see you are a hotel executive. What does that mean? What do you do in a hotel?
Executive assistant manager.
That's a pretty important position, isn't it, huh? What's the name of the hotel?
Chamberlain Hotel by the sea.
By the sea in Hampton, Virginia?
Well, it's actually on an Army post, Fort Monroe.
Oh, really?
But it's a private operation.
You don't have to be in the Army to get in there, do you?
I had 5 years of it already. That's enough.
That's enough, isn't it? How far are you from Roanoke, Virginia?
It's somewhere approximately 300 miles.
I'll tell you the reason I ask you that is because we're kind of happy tonight. We have a real official and a very warm welcome to Roanoke, Virginia, as a matter of fact. And we have the station joining us down there. It happens to be WSLS-TV down in Roanoke, Virginia. And we're just awful glad that you joined our network. Hope you enjoy our show. As a matter of fact, we hope you enjoy having us with you as much as we enjoy having you with us. Sounds complicated, but we mean it. Welcome. Okay,
nice
Mr.
hotel
Mrs.
down there, too.
Yeah, nice hotel there, too, huh? You're giving credit where credit is due, I see. Well, let's try for your $100 clock. And this involves, you don't have to shovel snow down there, do you?
Occasionally.
Do you? Well, let's see how you would shovel snow. Now, this is all yours, Miss Rancho. Will you come over here with me, please? Hi, Ma. Thank you very much. Incidentally, this is your snow shovel, and I want to show you that instead of snow, we have piles of books, you see? Now, your problem is simply this. When I say go, using only the shovel, and without using your feet or, you know, your body in any other way, just shovel under and pick up any one of those stacks of books. In other words, they must not fall down or anything. Just pick them up, that's all. But you must have the stack just the way it is. In other words, if they crumble, even if they all land on the shovel, that's no good. Drop them, go on to the next one. We'll pile them up as many as you need, and you've got a very short time to do it. Take a look at the clock. See how many seconds you have. 30 seconds is all to get one stack of books upright on that shovel. Do you understand? Are you ready? Go! Try another one. He's right. Try another one. Get a little more careful. Not quite so fast. Flatten your shovel out a little. Get it under the corner of the book. Hold it. Stop the clock a minute. Get it under the corner. Go. Try another one. Go ahead. Ooh, come on back. Hold it. Stop the clock when she comes back here. Put it back to 5 seconds. Go. Come on. Get it under. Yes, it is. Come on. You almost got it. There you are. You did it. You want to know what she said to me just before she slid out? You repeat what you said to me. What'd you say over there?
I don't even remember.
Just as you started, you said, "Is this possible?" Right after that, you did it. You see, you asked and answered your own question. Well, that proves that you could get through the $100 clock and brings you up now to the $200 clock. And we'll find out what it is. Mr. Miss Rancho, now we have a... Oh! The bonus! You get the bonus! Take your hat off if you don't mind. Just put it right here if you want it. It'll be perfectly safe there. Come on over here and bring out the bonus, if you will, please, girls. Oh, that bonus is worth $300 in cash tonight. This is strictly the nature of a bonus. Step out here, if you will. What you have to do is to finish this stunt with this large balloon resting in that pail up there. It must be sitting there all by itself without anybody holding it. Just got to be resting in that pail, you see? And you have how many seconds in which to do it? 50 seconds. The only difference in the way I did it and the way you do it is that you may not use your hands at any time. You may only use your heads. Together. You can help each other in any way, or one of you can do it, or both of you. Do anything you want. You understand what you have to do, though?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you ready?
Ready?
Go! Well, as we always do, we like to give you a little memento of having done the bonus. A $300 check will be mailed to you in the mail right off the bat, and here's the balloon. You can keep that, too. All right, just send it off stage there. We'll have it waiting for you. That's right. Take it home to your little girl. All right, now that means you've got $300. You've beaten our $100 clock. You go on now to try for the $200 clock, and we have to go to work worrying about another bonus stunt. If you think they're easy to come up with, believe me, they're not. Okay, fair enough. Now we see how good you are at cutting a few special capers, or as a matter of fact, cutting cuppers, we could call this. Come over here with me, will you please? Both of you come over. Now, if you'll climb up that little three-step we have there, Miss Rancho, that's the idea. Stand right on the top step. Going to give you a cup on a string. And you hold it fairly long. You don't have to hold it all the way at the end, but I'd hold it longer than that if I were you. I'd hold it about at that length there. With one hand, that's right. You, sir, if you will stand right where Betty is, facing out that-a-way. That's it. And here is a hedge clipper, you know, large pair of hedge shears. You have. All right. Now, you hold that in your hand, and what your wife is going to do is this. She's going to start this cup swinging, and she's going to swing it so it gets way over in front of your husband. That's why I say you may want to make that string longer. Swing it over there, way over. Now, don't do anything until I tell you, sir. She's going to swing it over there. You don't have to swing farther than that, I'm afraid. That's the general idea. That's the idea. Swing it over in front. That's it. You got the idea. Okay. She's after you, boy. Yes, now, what happens is simply this. All you have to do is, with those shears, cut that cup as it passes you so that you cut the string so the cup drops. That's all you have to do. How many seconds do you have to do it in? Take a look at the clock. 55. Plenty of time. You don't mind if we blindfold you, do you? All right. There you are now. And you can't communicate with him in any way.
Anybody in my way, please? Nobody's
in your way. Are you ready? Go. Ah! Bless my soul, he did it with the first cut. Oh! Oh, what boy, look at the time. 2 seconds. Get on back here, fella. Oh, brother, I'm telling you. If you could have seen how we sweated over that this afternoon. You know, we always try these out on ourselves all afternoon. And we were just stabbing at that thing. We couldn't find it. You get it honestly. Here's the
Fool's luck.
Yeah, I don't think it was fool's luck. I think you just got a good eye even behind a blindfold. All right, Miss Rancho, you've beaten the $100 clock, $200 clock. You have already beaten our bonus stunt. There's nothing left. Fellas, pack up. Let's go home. Come on. All right, it's time for you now to try our jackpot clock. Now, Ken, you can't help your wife in any way in this. Wish you could. You just hold good thoughts for her. Miss Rancho, if you'll step down the far end of that platform, Ken, you better step down there, too, so you clear the way. It'll be on your wife. That's it. Back of this curtain is our jackpot board. It has on it all the words of a famous saying or quotation, all mixed up out of order. You get them back in order. Move them around until they spell out the saying or quotation we're after in 20 seconds, okay? Open the curtain. Step up on the platform. Go. All right, stop the clock. 2 hits are better than 1. You beat the jack. What else is this boy going to be? Come on back in. Believe me, once in a blue moon, we get a couple of people that just seem to walk right through everything we had, and you sure did it tonight. You got off to a shaky start with those books, but you finally came through, and my goodness, look what you've done. This has really been a visit you long remember, and believe me, so will we. All right, now, you've beaten the jackpot clock, so let's see what you've won. Just take a look over here.
Mr. and Mrs. Ranstill, in addition to your bonus prize, you have just won 2 of the most sensational television receiver in the world today. A new Sylvania 21-inch TV with AM/FM radio and a 3-speed phonograph combination. The Lexington features exclusive Better Than Ever Halo Light, the frame of light that's kinder to your eyes. Here is the set that will give you fine TV reception wherever you live.
There it is, right down there. My congratulations to you. And Mr. Rancho, kiss that baby for me, will you? Bye. Take your hat, Miss Rancho. Don't leave your hat here. All right. Who do we have next, Roxanne?
I'd like you to meet Julianne and Johnny and Mr. and Mrs. Cohen from Bayshore, Long Island.
Well, hi there. Hello, family. How are you? Mr. and Mrs. John Cohen, C-O-E-N, right? And this is, who have we here now? What's your name again, honey? Julianne. Come on in here so I can hear you. I can't hear.
Julianne.
How old are you, Julianne?
6.
6 years old. What are you going to be when you grow up?
A nurse, like
You're-
my mother.
Your mother's a nurse, and you want to be one too, do you? How would you like to practice on one of those little Roxanne dolls? Would you like that? Roxanne, bring out one of those Roxanne dolls. Got another one back there for this young lady, the nurse. There you are. How's that, all right? Now, you take good care of her, you hear? There's her name right on her dress there, you see? Roxanne. And what's your name, son?
John.
John, you got a wonderful record here at Sunday school. Let me see this now. St. Peter's, is that right?
Yes.
And you've got here 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year, 5th year bar. That's 5 years of perfect attendance. Keep up the good work, son. I'm mighty proud of you. And I guess your folks are, too. All right, Mr. Miss Cohen, let's see what your problem is. It's going to be on the $100 clock. Mr. Miss Cohen, suppose you leave the youngsters here for just a minute and come over here with me, would you? This is on the $100 clock, and I'm going to ask you, Mrs. Cohen, to have a seat, if you don't mind. Just sit comfortably in that chair. And your husband is going to provide you with magazines to read, but I'll show you how you're going to do it, John. If you step back over here just a little bit, right about there. Now, I will be located here to hand you these magazines, you see? What you do is take a magazine like this, put it under your chin. I will give it to you under your chin. You run over to your wife like this, and she has to take it under her chin from you. Neither one of you may use your hands at any time. Do you understand? And then you come back, and just because you may not like the stories in that magazine, I give you another magazine. You come over and put it on top of the second one, and then you come back for a third and put that on top of the third. When she's got all three under her chin, we'll stop the clock, and you'll beat the clock. You understand the problem? You understand it too, Miss Cohen? Going to make it real tough on you. Put your hands behind the chair and clasp them. Keep them there. Okay, you ready now? Take a look at the clock, John. See how many seconds you have. 40 seconds to get 3 magazines over there. Are you ready? Go. What are you doing, John? Just give it a magazine, that's all. All right, stop the clock. Go back over here. Okay. Might as well leave your hat off, Miss Cohen. I don't think you're going to need it. Put it right up here. It'll be all right there. And in the meantime, we have a little bit of gyration for you now that is really going to be a lot of fun. I don't know what track experience you had. Did you ever do any hurdling when you were in school? Did you, John? How about you, Miss Cohen? Never did? We're going to teach you how easy it is. This is really a lot of fun. It's a new kind of hurdle hopping, as you might call it. And it's a very fancy kind, too. It involves a little maneuvering by both of you. If you'll both come over here with me, I'll show you how it works. Miss Cohen, if you step on this side of this little hurdle, you stay on this side, John. I'll show you. See this little hurdle here? Now, you'll notice there are 2 little volleyballs over there. There are 2 little volleyballs over here. Your problem is simply this. When I say go, you run over to these volleyballs of yours, you see, like this, and you cannot touch them with your hands. You bend down, pick them up between your knees, run over here, and get them over the hurdle. Same thing with those. In other words, you pass those over to this side, you pass those over to this side at the same time. Do it within how many seconds from the time I say go? 45. You understand the problem? Are you ready? Go! Don't touch the ball. That's it, boy. You lost it. Get the next one. Hey, hold everything. Our time has run out right in the middle of it. Now, what about it? Can you come back next week? How about it, John? Can you come back?
Yes.
You think you'll still be walking? Mrs. Cohen, can you come back next week? Okay, because that'll be the stunt you'll do. You'll have 45 seconds starting from scratch all over again. We'll see you at that time. Ladies and gentlemen, new bonus next week worth $100. This is Bud Collyer speaking for Sylvania, hoping that next time may be your time to beat the clock. Good night, everybody.
This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Codman production. Produced in association with the CBS Television Network. Roxanne's Gown, a Paul Parnes original. This is Vern Bennett reminding you to tune in every week at the same time for Beat the Clock.